hodgepodge of races and religions, but it was never a big deal for us. We just got along because we were compatible. When we all got to know each other, we were still very young, we were kids, and looking for the differences among people was the last thing in our mind. For us, all we wanted was a friend. But as you get older and you read the newspapers and talk to people, you realize that people have a way of making a big deal out of differences. And I'm not saying that racial and religious and ethnic differences are something that should be cast aside. It's not something that we can ignore, but it's something that we should celebrate, but not use it as a paralyzing factor. When I was in primary school, I was actually, I tried to hide the fact that I was Indian because I was a minority, and I tried to hide the fact that I could speak the Tamil language. I didn't want people to know. I preferred to blend in, you know. And then as I got older, I started asking myself, why am I so ashamed of who I am, what my heritage is? So I got over it. Now I'm very proud of who I am, and I would in no way want to hide it. Growing up in Malaysia, seeing that there's so much diversity here, the issue of diversity is something that has always drawn me. My dream Malaysia would be a place where nobody would feel afraid to bring up issues that are actually affecting the country. Where you could definitely feel that as long as you're Malaysian, that this country is a safe space for you.
Life is a challenge, not a choice. So if life is a challenge, not a choice, everything is a new adventure, everything is something you can learn from, and every experience, every exposure, every new situation, every new country, every new environment.
He's not as outspoken or as loud, you know, or as academically high achieving, but he's solid. He's rock solid. He's actually, in a way, a lot of ways, the backbone of this organization.
What really drove me to everything was maybe the fact that when you're doing what you're doing, you enjoy doing what you're doing, you just fall in love with your work, and as you fall in love, you want to do it more and more.
In 2003, we came back to Malaysia. Obviously, when the director or the main person leaves, you know, things are going to be jammed, and so this 19-year-old boy with something like we had almost 2,000 boarding students, 3,000-4,000 all over the country. He's at the center of it all. He runs the show, trains. We had about 200 over volunteers, and he just coordinates everything. A young boy who's supposed to be either chasing girls or clubbing, but he's actually dedicating his whole life, and he loves it, and it's not like you're forced to do it.
Maybe the part where seeing people happy and grateful for the service that you have provided to them, that gives you a kind of a ticklish feeling inside where you feel so happy you made a difference in someone's life. Maybe that was what inspired me to carry on. Try to make a difference in the lives of others.
All my whole teenage fun has been ripped off because of this little thing, because trust me, balding can rip your confidence off totally. So after my music class, I used to go and sit at the back where they all practice dance. So I used to sit beside my teacher. I said, do you mind? I just want to sit and watch. She said, go ahead. And after about a few months, she asked, why don't you dance? I was like, me? Dancing? Look at these people. They all have this long, thick, Indians, it's a crime if you don't have a hair. They always have this graduation period for dancers. So I never thought I would do that, because in order to do that, you need to really groom well. You need to have the braids done on your hand, and what am I going to do with this? The day came, she personally, normally there are a lot of helpers to groom the girls, but she said, let me do her. So she took me to her room and she just transformed me, you know. That was the most memorable day in my life. So when I see fellow women who have thinning hair or balding, I wish I can tell them, it's not really all that bad. I know how you feel. I totally know how you feel. I want to be my teacher right now. I want to play a role like my teacher. If you give me a choice, I want to pick up any girls who look down on the floor. You know why people look down? They won't. I dare not look at you. If I were before, I dare not look at your face and talk, because I know you're looking at my hair. I like to pick up these girls from the street and tell them, this is me, you, 10 years ago. This is me. My hair has not grown, you know. My hair still drops. I'm still bald here, if you can see. But you know what's the difference between then and now? I have this mountain full of confidence that nothing will break them.
When I was in primary school and in high school, my talents were not realized. It was not because I wasn't seeking opportunities. It was because opportunities were blocked from me. They just wouldn't care of giving me an opportunity, thinking that I'm weak in sports, I should be weak in everything. So I had to fake my abilities. I used to watch a lot of speeches. In a vague definition of what I understand of faking it for my term, is actually faking my ability to talk. But now here comes the second part. As I started to emulate all these icons, all these role models, reading on countless books, I began to develop my own traits and characteristics to make it. Now, when I was faking my ability to do public speaking and in terms of taking up leadership roles, I've gone through a lot of hard work. Asking people how did they manage their groups, asking business people how did they actually run a business. I believe no one starts off as a good leader. So that was the same case with me. So I had to fake my abilities by emulating, adapting, and learning from others, from sources, and then working hard, putting in efforts, and with an objective in mind to making it happen. So you have impacted their lives. Now, the dream Malaysia that I would see would be a well-developed country. A country where infrastructures are well-developed, facilities available, and people from all different races are supporting each other, in which three races could collectively bring up the country through any contributions that would make a collective success.
My mother encouraged me, you have to pass everything in your life. So success, failure, it's common. You have to face everything. You cannot give up. If you face failure in this, next time you can try your best. So next time you put more effort to do all these things. From beginning until now, I believe my life motto is everything is possible, nothing is impossible. When I think of that, so it's a motivate word for me. When I feel upset or anything, so I consult my mother, so she will help in a lot of way, in studies, finance, advice. Once I get facilities, I will help to my siblings and my family. Same time, I have dream to build one home, like OKU. I want to be the financer of the home. First of all, I will bring 100% facility for OKU. First facilities for OKU. Don't see me like I'm the specific person in my family, among you. So I'm one of your friends. So you have treat me like normal. Don't say I can. Of course I can, because I have small problem. That's all. Otherwise I can. So for all, please treat them normal, as normal.
When we entered to the STPM, in one classroom there are 40 to 50 students, and 4 or 5 of them were disabled, blind like me. So what they did at that time, they asked all of us, the blind students, sit together in one row. So they do not want us to interact with them. But I did not like that kind of thing, because I want to interact. Because when we interact, when we sit with the normal person, at least we can share, we can communicate easily with them. We all decide and went to meet up the teachers personally, and then we slowly talk about our problem. And then they asked us to change the seat, and all of us we sit in pairs. For me, my principle is, if I want to do it, I will do it until finish. I will not wait for the things. If I decide to do it, I will do it until whatever problems or circumstances, I will try to finish it. Then I want to do something to the community. First, I want to do something for the disabled like me, and In the same time, I also ambition like to help the others also, the normal person. And in my case, I want that the people, the normal person came and asked for help to me. That's the thing. Because I don't want them to see us as a problem, but I want them to see us to solve their problem.
My inspiration for keep me going is the end. Number one, I can share to people. And let's say you call yourself a sacrifice also what, but if in the end, if I can impact at least maybe 10 people around me to make their life change because they see you will feel that, you know, as they go to be a successful person, you are part of that ambition, you're part of that success. I think that is the sweetness. I really hope that, especially to the youngsters, you know, as you can see in the country, you can see it in the youth, right? We have this group of developing successful students who our successful rate, achieving rate, smart students are increasing every year. But we have to see this segment of students who are average students who are increasingly every day in vandalism, in social problems. You know, if maybe we can improve in some portion, but we are developing negatively in other portion, who's gonna save these people? Yeah. You know, and we always being said that this next generation will lead the world. So if I have this realization and I don't help my own country to realize it, so who else gonna be? Being different, being successful is a trend. Currently, that is not our trend in Malaysia. So if we can inspire them and then you impact them life and they change their life because of something that you convey, wow. We can make a very new world.